Alrighty, boys and girls, welcome back. It's your main math man, Mr. Shank, coming to you live from Mayfield. And in this video, we're going to be working with and finishing up that last warm-up of the week. And so, again, you're trying to make sure you read it carefully first. So it says this, it says which list has the numbers ordered from least to greatest. And so, as always, we're going to say that's going to be ascending. That just means ascending order. Ascending order. And so we're going to make sure that we can change these values to decimal form, line up those columns, and be able to pick the value that's the lowest, and then order them from there. So I'm going to change my values. I'm going to say, okay, since I have that 3 1/5, again, we're saying that this is going to be the whole, and so we have it, that's going to go right in the center, so that's going to be that 3. And, again, where I say and, that's where I have that 1/5, so that's going to be the part. So I'm going to have 1/5, and that is just 0.2. So make sure you're saying and having that decimal value is that part. So after that, for the next one, it's just 3.06. That's already done for you, so you can just copy it over. So you have 3.06, again, just using 1 digit per column. That way they're nice and lined up for yourself. That 1/2, again, we just do 1 divided by 2. That's going to give us that 0.5. And that last one is already in decimal form, and so we can have 0.4. So you want to make sure that you're lining up those columns, and we're saying, okay, which one is the lowest? Alright, so we kind of line these up and we see, okay, well, we're tied with these couple zeros here, so we can have and move over one column to the right, and we say, okay, that's 0.4, that's going to be the lowest. So I'm going to say least to greatest. I'm going to make it like that. So I have least, that's going to be that 0.4. You can just put a line through it if you used it. Next, that's going to be our 1/2. So I put a comma, and I say 1/2. Again, you always put it in original form. That way you know what answer choice that you would want to be able to use. So then we can have something like this. We have 1/2, and then we're going to have that 3.06. And lastly, and this is going to be our greatest value, is that 3 1/5. Again, that's that mixed number that we had from at the beginning. So again, make sure you're just lining up those columns, looking at those decimal values very carefully. For the second one, it says this. It says Jane reached a depth of negative 0.65 meters when she went scuba diving. And it says which point on the number line below is closest to negative 6.5. So again, make sure you're thinking, okay, when you go below sea level, so if you needed to, you could draw the number line vertically, perfectly straight line every time. And so you can say, okay, right in the middle is at 0, so that would be that sea level. And so we're going in the negatives now, so this would be like -1, -2, so on and so forth. And so if you need to think of it like that, you can say, okay, I'm going further down, so which one would that be? Well, let's see. If we number these like this, if we say, alright, if this is -0.5, what are these dash marks? So let's see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So each of these dash marks on this number line are worth 1 step. So we know that that's going to be -1, -2, -3, so on and so forth. So then that means this. I can say that this is going to be -6. This is going to be -7, -8. Again, just take your time making sure that you number those very carefully, because we're looking for which value. We're looking for something that is -7.65. So we have to go below -7. So the only value that is in between that would be this value here. So we could say, okay, this B value here, that's going to be that 7.65. And that makes sense because it's between -7 and -8. So again, just make sure you're seeing where you're at on that number line. Make sure you're putting your name on it, and make sure you're turning it in. And as always, super slam that subscribe button.